100%.
Yes.
100%. Okay, so as promised, we are joined right now by the former general manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, longtime MLB executive. Ned Colletti is joining us, who's got a great event coming up on August 28th that we'll talk about in just a sec. How you feeling, Ned?
Hey, doing great, gentlemen. Good to be with you.
All
Good.
right.
It's great to be with you. Let me ask you this. When, kind of in what we're seeing with the Dodgers for the last, let's call it, couple of months or so, maybe slightly less than that, when a team is expected to perform at one level and it is performing at a level below that, how do you jumpstart it? How do you get everybody's attention? How do you get everybody on the same page when you know the team is not performing where it should be?
Well, if we look back to last weekend, I guess whatever they did that weekend is what you got to do. The season will test you. There's no doubt the season's long. You got to go through a lot of different things. They've been hit by injury, as we've talked about many, many times, I'm sure. But, it's the other team's getting paid, too. The other team competes, too. The Dodgers are always the team everybody's looking at. So that's a little bit of it. And it's tough to win. We should never take that for granted. But how they played against San Diego tells me this. Why they're flawed, and they do have some areas that I would be concerned of, bullpen for one. I still don't know that there's anybody better because I think everybody's flawed. For San Diego to come into L.A. last weekend and play the way they did, and the Dodgers to play the way they did, I mean, you can't tell me that San Diego has proven really since Game 3 of a year ago in the playoffs that they're better than L.A. So part of it's playing against the league, playing against the game itself. The other part is who's better.
This is true. So, Mr. Colletti, I don't know if you remember me. I used to call you that on the radio a long time ago. They made me call you Mr. Colletti, so I'll keep doing it. So, Mr. Colletti, I do realize this. There is no panic in baseball. There's really no panic in sports. No one panics. It's the pay leagues. But there does come a point where I guess you start to lose some hope. Are there valleys enough in baseball, in a baseball season, to where you would lose hope no matter how good you are on the roster?
Well, I would never lose hope. I would be concerned and I would be disappointed sometimes by performance or lack of performance or lack of focus. But I would never lose hope. I don't think that the Dodgers lose hope ever. I think that how they're built and how they play and who they are and their record tells you that their game for just about everything. Has it been a rough couple of months? Yeah, it's been bumpy. There's no doubt. But again, as bumpy as it's been and as many injuries as they've had, that they still have a lead, a slim lead, but a lead, that tells me a lot about who they are. And again, who the competition is. They're playing against other teams. You're not playing against the sport itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so against the sport itself, yeah, sure, there's some flaws in it. But against the competition that they're asked to play against, that they're going to be asked to beat in October and beat in a World Series situation, hopefully, I still don't know anybody that's better than they are.
Former Dodger general manager, longtime MLB executive Ned Colletti joining us here on the Trav and DeMarco show. And DeMarco and I, Ned, have talked about this a little bit. And, because Shohei Ohtani is Shohei Ohtani, and he is one of one, and I'm not suggesting that those are easy to find or you will ever find another one. But do you think, and I'm asking you to kind of put your scouting hat on here, because of the success of Shohei Ohtani, will teams, scouts, general managers be more willing to at least accept the idea of a two-way player moving forward? Will we see more guys that can do both? Maybe not at the level of an Ohtani, but a guy that can pitch in the major leagues and also, take regular at-bats in the major leagues.
It's a great point, and I think you're going to see it. I think teams will look for it. We've actually seen a little bit of a hybrid of that the last 5 or 8 years, that you'll find players that played one position their whole career, and now suddenly they're playing different positions. I mean, look no further than Mookie.
Sure.
And look at the versatility of a Kike and on, and the whole thing. So I think teams look for versatility. That may be the all-time versatility, a guy that can lead off, hit in the middle of your lineup, be a run producer, and also be one of your best pitchers. I think teams will look for that. They're always looking to be able to maximize a roster. And there's no doubt what he does maximizes a roster. They play with really 27 players because they've got one guy that they can use in either role and be good at it. So, but I think that's That'll be a coming trend. I bet you in the next 5-10 years, you'll have maybe 10 to 15 players, not to the level that Shohei does it,
Sure.
but you'll have 10 or 15 players who do it.
Like, for instance, I remember hearing this name a lot, that he was a great pitcher in college, et cetera. So like a John Olerud, who played a long time in the league, that he had an arm that would have allowed him to pitch at the big league level. Will there be 15 of those in 10 years?
Well, Olerud was another great player, great hitter. Again, I don't know that. I think that Shohei is so different because not only does he do both, but he does them at such an extreme level. I scouted him before he signed with Anaheim, and I thought he was going to be the pitcher and not necessarily the hitter. And I was so wrong on that. But I think you'll find people that will do both. To find somebody that will be as good as John Olerud was, I think will be a challenge. I think it'll be nigh impossible to find somebody who's as good as Shohei, who's going to be able to do it. Now, in time that will happen. But in the next 10 years, I don't know that you're going to find another Shohei at any point in time in the next 10 years. But I think that you'll find players that'll have value in both roles. But it's going to be tough. And we're seeing now, and we're going to see the rest of the season and into the off season, the toll that doing both does take. Because it is not that simple. It's not a video game, although some days he makes it look like a video game. It's not a video game. And so you're talking about two different preparations for it. Clayton, nobody talks to Clayton before a start. I mean, he's got this routine minute by minute. Well, for every fifth day or sixth day, Shohei's going to have that type of routine. And then the other days, he's playing. He may be playing in the field at some point in time. That he DHs and pitches is one thing. If he ever starts playing defense again and pitching again, that'll be yet a whole nother level of wear and tear on the body and on the mind to prepare in two drastically different ways. But I do think that you'll see players that'll be able to do it. Again, to his level, I don't think we see that maybe ever.
That's a great point, Ned. Can I call you Ned? Is that okay?
Absolutely. I don't know who told you Mr. Colletti, but that's cool. Whatever.
Good. Let me unbutton the top button and loosen up a little bit. I have a question for you. Okay, so as a member of a team, I get it. My clearance only goes so high, and sometimes you're on a need to know. But this whole Mookie Betts going to right field thing, it seems easy to me. He's the best right fielder you have, but it seems like there might be something in the way of moving. What am I missing about moving Mookie back to right?
Well, it's whenever the first, and this is just a generality, the first change people want to make at anything, change a position, change a manager, change a coach, whatever it is, the first part is always easier than the second part. And the second part is who's going to play at short right now. That's better offensively than Tio, okay? If Tio's going to lose a little bit of time or if you're going to move Tio to left field. You've got to there's so many different dynamics to it. It's a simple thing to say, well, he's the best guy. We ought to put him out there. I've had the same thought. But I also know that it's far more complicated than that because you need another player that's going to play at a very high level at a key position. To me, there's two positions you can't fake in baseball. One is the catcher, but besides your pitcher. One is the catcher and one is the shortstop. Not everybody can do either one of those. It's a special player that you're going to run out there every day to do that. That Mookie's improved the way he has is remarkable. I'm not surprised, but it is remarkable. But I think as the time goes on, we kind of all, there's another generality. We look for like a specific answer at a specific time. What's the opening day lineup going to be? Well, whatever it is, you know what it's good for? It's good for one day.
One day, yeah.
So while today it is what it is, Mookie plays short and Tio plays right, and Mookie's going to stay at short, we don't know what the next week, month will bring. There could be changes. There could be as they get healthier with Kike, who's had a good night in Oklahoma City the other day, and Edmund and guys like that. Well, maybe there's a different thought process. Maybe something else enters into it. But it's always fluid. When we think about it as fans or media or stuff like that, everything's got to be like cut and dry. Well, you know what? Nothing is, and it's all fluid. And today, he's the shortstop. Will he be the shortstop on Labor Day? We'll have to wait and see. Will he start the postseason as a shortstop? We'll have to wait and see. Everybody's got the right to adjust. Everybody's got the right to change. None of this stuff is written in stone.
What is written in stone is August 28th, a night in Claremont. Oral Hershiser, Ned Colletti, and friends. They're having an event to raise some money for a couple of your favorite charities, Ned's. Tickets are available at legendsattic.com. What can people expect? I know that you've been around the game forever and ever and ever. I would imagine you, Oral, and everybody else have some amazing stories.
Well, we're gonna open it up to all kinds of discussion on the great book that Dave Holbrook did on the all-time great Dodger team. Oral stories. I signed Oral once years ago for the team up north back in '98. I don't know if anybody wants to bring that up.
Right.
I got a funny Tommy Lasorda story that we can get into. But it's going to be a casual evening of great conversation, a lot of fan interaction with anything that we can raise out of it, going to two great foster homes that help out a lot of kids. And so that's the goal. The goal is to get together, talk baseball, have a great baseball community, and to help some people out that, need a little bit of help. I mean, we all do, but this group is special to me, foster kids, and trying to see what we can do to help them have a little better turn at it.
It is a great cause indeed. And Ned, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot, but I'm just asking that this event at night, behind closed doors, will there be some stories that maybe you could not tell on the radio?
Blue stories?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know between 6 and 8, but probably about 8:15. You know it.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. All right, I got one more for you because I'm enamored with this guy. Is Paul Skenes assuming health the next thing that we're talking about? The way we talk about Greg Maddux, the way we talk about Randy Johnson, the way we talk about Nolan Ryan. Is Paul Skenes that guy?
Well, he's certainly got a chance to be that, and I was with Greg for a long time, the first 6 years of his career, then traded for him twice. Maddux is genius at what he did. Randy Johnson was also really, really smart at what he did, but also overpowering. Paul's got almost the overpowering aspect of it, and I don't know him well enough to know what the thought process is, but if his thought process is 70 or 80% of a Greg Maddux type thought process with the ability that he has, pending great health, the sky's the limit for this guy because he is special. Everybody in the big leagues is special to an extent. There's 5% you wonder what they're doing in the league. There's another 5% that you look at them and you go, how unique is this ability and how special is this talent? It's a cut above. That's where he's at. And, that we'll see how it goes. A couple of years doesn't make a career, but he's certainly got the makings of it, and his compete is off the chart, as is his stuff. So if the mind works like to compete in the stuff, you're going to have somebody really, really special.
That's Ned Colletti. He will be with Oral Hershiser and friends. Of course, the incredible art of Dave Hobrecht as well. It is coming up in Claremont. It is August 28th. And if you want to hear some unbelievable baseball stories and help some unbelievable charities as well, you can go to legendsattic.com, the place that DeMarco and I go a whole bunch of times.
All the time.
Legendsattic.com for your tickets. Appreciate your time, Ned.
Thank
Thanks
you, sir.
so much.
Hey, thank you, guys. And I thank Eddie and Oral for doing this. It's great for them to do it as well. Thank you.
You got
awesome.
it. You got it.
Did you hear how his tempo picked up when you asked him about skiing?
I'm telling you, if you're a baseball fan like I am, or if you're a baseball person like Ned is, you look at that, you're like, oh, God, just nothing happened.